Hello, hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar organized by WeUni in partnership with emlyon Business School. My name is Carolina, nice to meet you all, and I'll be your host for today's event on behalf of WeUni. I see here that the first people are already starting to join in. We're going to wait just a couple of minutes before starting in order to allow everyone to connect. In the meantime, feel free to say hi on our chat here on Zoom and please tell us where you're from since we are very curious, of course. Okay, as you can see here, I'm not alone. I would like to thank everyone for joining us, but of course, I would like to thank our panelists for being here with us today. I want to introduce you all to Jean, Academic Director and Associate Professor in Mathematics at emlyon Business School,
Good evening.
and Zied, Academic Director at École Centrale de Lyon. Bienvenue, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. Today, you are going to explore how the Bachelor in Data Science for Responsible Business prepares a new generation of experts to lead the change. So in this live session, faculty from emlyon Business School and École Centrale de Lyon will share how the program combines AI, data science, and ethical business to tackle real-world challenges. So you're going to discover the data-driven roles recruiters that are struggling to fill, but also you're going to get real life examples of students' projects and career paths and tips from the inside. You'll also have the possibility to interact with our speakers, of course, and ask them questions. So talking about that, I'd like to remind you that after the presentation, we will have a Q&A session where you'll be able to ask direct questions to the panelists. So don't be shy and just type all of your questions in the Q&A section here on Zoom, and we'll go through them at the end of the webinar. Also, another important information for those of you interested in receiving a certificate of attendance for this free masterclass, stay tuned because we will post a link to get the certificate at the end of the session. Okay, I see some other people connecting, someone from Nigeria. Welcome, it's a pleasure to have you here. We are here with emlyon Business School and École Centrale de Lyon. I think that we are able to start now. Welcome to those who just joined us. And without further ado, I can now leave the floor to Jean and Zied for the presentation. So enjoy this webinar and see you later. Thank you.
Right, Zied? You got it?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. We are here to introduce a Bachelor of Science program, Data Science for Responsible Business by Lyon and Centrale Lyon. Both are colleges in France, in particular in the city of Lyon. Lyon is a business school and Centrale Lyon is an engineering school. I am Zied Bouyahya from the Math and Computer Science Department at Centrale Lyon, and I am the co-director of this program with my colleague Jean Savinien. So I will start introducing this program and share with you, what was the motivation to create this program and what are the main aspects of this program and how we can compare it to the other programs, similar programs maybe in the landscape of programs related to AI and data science. So with no further ado, so first of all, we'll talk a little bit about the hybrid training, which is embedded in the core of the curriculum and the plan of study of this program, and it explains the motivation why this program was created at first place. And then I'm going to talk about the objectives of this program and why it was created and what are the expected learning outcomes of this program and what we're expecting from the graduates to have as skills and competencies and knowledge when they graduate, and how this program prepares them to join the job market with the required skills. And then we'll talking about the job markets. We're talking about the opportunities. Graduates from this program, which opportunities they can have as soon as they graduate. Other industry or in business or in entrepreneurship or in research, even if they would like to. And then my colleague Jean will take over to explain a little bit the pedagogy and the program, the plan of study, how the courses were devised, and what are the different courses at each level. and then he will probably talk about the strengths of this program, things we are priding ourselves on. I mean, as you're gonna see later, it's a professional program and vocational program at first place, and then he will explain how to apply this program if you're interested in, of course, and then he will give key indicators of this year of the BSc. I mean,
Some fun facts about
some
this year.
fun fact, let's say. Okay, so this program comes as it's a hybrid training. I mean, it's combining both aspects of, as you see. I mean, it's provided by two different schools. I mean, one school in engineering, which is Centrale de Lyon, and one school, which is the business school, which is emlyon. And actually, this is the very reason of creating this program. I mean, it comes to bridge a gap, a huge gap, actually, between the AI users and the ideas or makers. I mean, on the one side, we have people who have a strong expertise and who know exactly how the business works. I mean, the policies, the guidelines, the rules, the bylaws, and etc. And they understand. I mean, if someone presents some type of data to them, I mean, they understand what this data means. I mean, on the other side, we have let's say the geeks. I mean, those who develop the programs, who create the models, and the engineers, let's say. I mean, and how they are perceived from the outside. I mean, the AI user or the business stakeholders. I mean, they're what we call they have practical needs. I mean, they want something which works and something which is reliable and something which is trustworthy. I mean, we're living now in a world in which people they are sometimes reluctant to use their credit card on the internet. I mean, they are skeptical to use any machine or any computer. I mean, they prefer to interact with humans after all. And on the other side, we have engineers which apparently they trust what they make that match, and they think that their let's say their algorithms, their programs and software packages, they're bulletproof. I mean, but the thing is, they both don't understand each other. I mean, on the one side, if I take one, for example, Excel sheet or one file in which we have some data and I give it to an engineer and I ask him to create a program to give me some insights, I mean, he will do the job and then he will provide charts probably and diagrams, and he will say, okay, the job is done. I have an input, and as an output, I have the diagrams that you asked for. I mean, and at a higher level, maybe he will create a machine which can think or reason or use this data to create or to infer some or to orient the next decisions. I mean, on the other side, I mean, probably the AI user will look at the charts and he can say it doesn't make sense, probably because the data itself, I mean, it's corrupted, it's biased, or probably because he didn't explain very well. And this is actually a struggle. I mean, every engineer is going through. I mean, he didn't understand what are the requirements of the user, and then they don't communicate well. I mean, in an ideal world, I mean, it would be great if we have an engineer who understands the business, or if we have a business stakeholder who can do the job by himself. I mean, who can technically use by himself. I mean, actually now with the emergence of the advances, I mean, in AI and let's say generative AI, MCPs, and I mean, we can streamline these activities. We can use the machine to create machines, actually. I mean, some sort of. However, I mean, we are far from saying that what we have achieved so now is trustworthy. I mean, it's something reliable and something we can use, say it would. I mean, some studies, I mean, not studies, let's say, in the rigorous way, but some articles are saying that some companies have tried to go in that path and they utterly failed. So again, when companies, organizations, they cannot, I mean, we cannot separate or we cannot keep this gap between the AI users and the AI makers. And in this sense, I mean, we imagine, I mean, or let's say we conceive this program in the sense that we would like to have to create engineers who can, I mean, who can understand at first place, who can understand the AI users and combine these two worlds. I mean, this is actually what is, let's say, the main motivation behind this program. So this program, it's a hybrid training combining two worlds. I mean, the engineering world and the business world. Uh, and engineering in particular data science, which is a particular field in AI actually, and the management sciences, of course, I mean, which is, let's say, the field of expertise and the field in which we apply AI, and also with an important component, which is CSR. I mean, the corporate social responsibilities. I mean, this program is called Data Science for the Responsible Business. It's not for any type of business, it's for responsible business. And actually, I mean, I don't know if you're aware of that. I mean, there are a myriad of regulations and bylaws in European Union. I mean, which imply, I mean, which we have to observe and we have to be aware of. I mean, whenever we do business or whenever we do engineering, it's about doing the business responsibly in a way that upholds the best practices. I mean, in terms of environment, society, and etc. And just for the sake of the example, I mean, let's imagine, for example, that some bank, for example, and would like to create a system that based on which, I mean, this bank is receiving thousands of applications for credits, for example, for loans, and then they want to make this task automatic. I mean, just based on some files uploaded by the customer or the client and some information which are input in some forms, they will have, I mean, the program or the machine or the software will decide, I mean, is he or she eligible for this loan or not. I mean, just imagine a simple case which can actually happen. I mean, imagine that if the data that this bank have contains only, let's say, for example, European customers or European clients, or let's say only males or only females. I mean, in this case, I mean, the machine actually, if we look at it, I mean, it's a dumb machine. I mean, it doesn't think. I mean, the way it was created, I mean, it's just a processor and some memory. But I mean, let's say the only leverage this machine have on us as humans is its capacity of calculations. I mean, it can achieve billions of operations in a second. I mean, if I ask you, for example, the question, one plus one equals, I mean, the time you think and the time you respond, I mean, probably at that time, I mean, one CPU, a regular CPU would have done like billion of operations at that time. I mean, so this is the leverage the machine have. And we are trying to leverage actually this computational power to create models that can analyze and that can implement actually mathematical models just to infer some insights from this one. And actually here where comes the CSR. I mean, the thing is the threat, I mean, or let's say, I mean, actually, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, we have a threat and opportunity at the same time. So if we do things well, I mean, we can have machines which are highly performant, which can achieve very good results. I mean, and we can basically make our life easier. But the downside is if we entirely trust this machine, and if we have a flaw in the data, if we have a bias, we call this a bias in the data. I mean, this machine will just obey whatever model we have provided to it, and then the results. I mean, and the outcome, it could be something with serious consequences, either even for the economy itself. I mean, so this is why this CSR aspect is embedded in the core of this program. I mean. This is just trying to explain the three pillars of this program. Data science on the one side, engineering, which is the engineering part of this program, management sciences, which is, let's say, the core business of this program, and we have CSR, which is also embedded in both either engineering and management. Uh, okay, so then what are the objectives of this program? I mean, we thrive to train professional data scientists. I mean, at first place, this program came as a response to a huge shortage of data science and AI professionals in the job market. And this is why this program was devised and created around this perspective. I mean, and the whole plan study and the curriculum and the internships and the whole thing was created, and the tracks, the specialization tracks, were made based on the expertise of Emlyon Centrale de Lyon, and they put, I mean, the best of the two worlds just to create this program. I mean, this says, I mean, to train professional data scientists, people who have, I mean, I mean, after the completion of this program, you'd have a degree, and you'll have also the certifications, and also you'll have a professional experience as well. Okay, so moving on. Uh, so I've been talking about AI and data science, and probably in a nutshell, I'm going to just present what are the different aspects which are covered in this program as well. So AI is a research and development discipline. I mean, practically now every company in the world is using AI. I mean, AI is stands for artificial intelligence. It's just a way of making the machines leverage the the computational power along with mathematical model, and most of all with, let's say, huge amount of data that we can use to train these machines, looking for patterns and looking for let's say, rules that we are going to use to infer in the future. So the goal of AI is to model and also, let's say, mimic all smart human activities. I mean, we are trying to mimic the way humans think, and I think you've all heard about something called the neural networks. I mean, we are literally trying to mimic the way the human brain works. I mean, with neurons and the connections with them and activations and this kind of stuff. So the fields of investigations of AI. So first of all, we have the receptive functions, which means the way we perceive, I mean, information. We have memorization and learning. I mean, alongside with the capacity of calculations. I mean, computers have a significant capacity of storage as well, and so what we can do is we can create a machine that thinks, that uses the data to infer the models, and we can store these models to use them later on. Also, it's used for reasoning and thinking, and these aspects, they cover what we call the machine learning. And we have also executive functions, such as decision making and actions, and we have expressive functions, communication and language. One example that you all know, I think, is large language models or generative AI, let's say. So, data science is central. I mean, it's a crucial part of crucial component. It's the cornerstone, I mean, of AI in general. So, this program, a training in responsible data science. I mean, this is not a bachelor in AI. I mean, it's a bachelor in data science. It's all about how to understand the data and how to find the appropriate model that pertains to this data. I mean, which is actually the best training of AI. The thing is, I've been seeing students trying to use AI, especially now we have a lot of tools that we can use as black boxes. I mean, we can just in one or two lines of code, I mean, we can create a function, or we can create a program that reads data somewhere and then provides some outputs. But the problem is, and they staggered, and they don't understand. I mean, we did everything well, but the outcome is not as we expected. And I keep telling them that the problem probably is the bias in data. I mean, you have also, first of all, you have to understand your data, you have to analyze your data and see if it's if data is well formed. I mean, if it's appropriate for this model. And this is what comes, actually, you need to be an expert in the field that it was. I mean, if you are dealing with data from healthcare, you have to be a healthcare professional. If you are using data from banking, you need a minimum proficiency in banking systems and banking information, and so on and so forth. Okay, so when an AI solution replaces human-analyzed decisions or judgments, so we can have technical issues related with data, as I said, with business issues. We don't understand how the business works. I mean, if I find a value of, let's say, 3.9 in inflation as prediction of inflation, I don't know if this is irrelevant information or not. So I have to know what inflation is. I mean, this is a silly example, but just to have an idea about the challenges we could face, I mean, when we use data science. And also we have, and most of all, the human issues. I mean, if something goes wrong, I mean, who's to blame? I mean, imagine, for example, I mean, it's not actually related to the bachelor program, but imagine, for example, in one case, I have a driverless car, and this car makes an accident, I mean, and hurts somebody. I mean, in this case, who are we going to blame? Are we going to blame the owner of the car, the man who manufactured the car, or the guy who created the system that uses the video feed just to find the pedestrian, and so on and so forth? So the thing is, we don't have, I mean, so far we don't have real and boundaries of where the liability and accountability of these models and these algorithms. So, so just to wrap that, I mean, the objective of the bachelor, it's based on three components. The first one is scientific component, technical component, which is professional, the know-how. We have to understand what is a statistical significance. We have to know the mathematical model, and we have to understand how they work. And then we have the business. We have to understand the field we are getting the data from. And the third and not the least important one is the CSR component, which is we have to be conscious and we have to be aware of the impact the AI and data science can have on the society. So moving next, I don't know how to move to the next slide.
Sorry.
Okay. So now I'm talking about the opportunities of this program. So I mean, as I said at the beginning, I mean, this program was created at first place in response to a huge shortage in the market jobs of AI and data science professionals. I mean, in the world, and actually, we are not the only ones who came as a in response to this shortage. I mean, there are a lot of programs. I mean, in France, in Europe, and all across the globe. I mean, which target the same objective. And the thing is, this is how the program was created at first place, and then it was fine-tuned, I mean, to adapt to other opportunities. I mean, this is not the only thing that you can do. I mean, it's not about just creating having a degree, and this degree allows you just to go to start a career related to data science. I mean, it's not only data science. You can join opportunities in as ML ops. You can data engineer, data analyst maybe. I mean, but these are the opportunities. So again, the sectors. I mean, since I mean the graduates of this program have this let's say component of CSR, they can join non-government organizations and non-for-profit organizations also, and also all industries. I mean, these are the sectors which are in need actually of these data scientists. And the target jobs, I mean, it's a large spectrum. I mean, let's say the most relevant ones are data scientists and big data analysts, AI project lead, and data or AI consultant. Okay, do we have? Okay, so the thing is, as I said, so this is the first track, and then John will explain this thoroughly. The first track is it's called data scientist. I mean, it trains professionals. I mean, with let's say hands-on expertise and professional expertise also before they're even graduating. And there is another track which is the research track, which prepares students to pursue in postgraduate studies. I mean, in masters of business or masters of research. I mean, they can do this in Centrale Lyon or Lyon, and they can do it in any other university in the world. We have something next, Jean.
Yes, I'm picking up next on the pedagogy.
Okay, the floor is yours, Jean. Thank you.
Yes, thanks. All right. Uh, so what's specific about this program is it's an undergraduate program, a Bachelor of Science, and it was tailored to follow the US trend of bachelors, which are professional programs to get a job once you graduate. Okay, and we really implemented that in the pedagogy of the program. We are following an Anglo-Saxon pedagogy where concrete examples and motivations from ground field come first before building up and developing the theory. Okay, so it's an applied program. The theory is there, the math and the theory is in the content of the program, but comes next after the need of applications. It's also applied in the sense that for computer science, data science, and also to some extent in some business courses, we have a code-first approach by experimenting numerically with code and then building up on the models and the theory. Okay, and we've tried as much as we could especially in the technical courses, to integrate business and human impacts, because it's only when you master the quantitative aspects of data science that you can see where quantitative choices can have a substantive expertise effect or business effects or human effects or human effects in the long run, right? Um, it's the full program is really run 50-50 between our two schools and the two corpuses of faculty at Lyon and École Centrale. And the content splits along the three pillars that Zied presented earlier on, that is math and computer science on the one hand, business education, and corporate social responsibility. And the program also has a heavy load of internships. Every year there are internships to follow for students to practice and discover data scientist jobs in real companies. So now I'm going to describe what comes into the program. I'll try to go fast so that we have time for questions and answers. But along the 4 years, the first year is probably the most challenging. It contains all the fundamentals in mathematics and in computer science, which are needed to start learning and doing and practicing data science. So there is a lot of content, and students in year one are pretty busy. Okay, the math content includes calculus and calculus, multivariate calculus and vector calculus, probability statistics, linear algebra. In computer science, you see the fundamentals of programming, databases, algorithmics, data viz, a bit of computer architecture as well. And there are just a few business classes just to discover what is a company, what is a project, how it works. Okay. And the end of the year the end of the summer term is dedicated to the first year internship, which has to be done in a non-profit organization or a humanitarian association. Okay. In year two, once students have mastered the fundamentals in math and computer science, they'll learn the tools of the trade, the tricks of the trades of data science. Okay, so all the fancy words that you've heard about around AI, so data science, machine learning, deep learning, cloud computing, Gen AI, and so on, and all that, this is taught in year two. That's a lot of content as well, and a lot of practical content. So students get to work a lot, code a lot, and practice a lot in year two to master all of these. Okay, and in the practice, that includes certifications of cloud computing with Amazon Web Services and the like. Okay. At the end of year two, students will do a technical internship. Even if some students following our program wants at the end to have more of a business job, uh, uh, we require that they all have at least had once a technical internship, a technical experience, and have worked for a few months in a technical team with engineers and developers, so that they know from the inside how technical people work, to bridge in this gap that between technical persons and business persons that Ziad mentioned earlier on. Okay. Now, after this, year three and year four have lots of applied classes to master those fundamentals, those data science fundamentals. Okay. And the architecture of year three and year four is a bit specific. So at the beginning of year three, after the tech internship of year two, students go abroad for the fall term for 4 to 5 months in one of our in one of our partner universities. So, for instance, our third year students next year will go to a university in South Korea, in Seoul. It's called SKKU. It's a very good university, and they will have an exchange semester there at the College of Computing and the Business School. Okay. So, beginning of year three, fall term exchange. That's an academic exchange, and when they come back, students have to choose one specialization track, which Ziad mentioned quickly earlier on. So during 1 year, so in the spring term of year three, all the way up to the fall term of year four, so from January year three to December year four, they will work during 1 year on a project. So the three tracks orient these projects along either research, where they will work in partnership with researchers and a research lab to discover what's research and to learn how to read a paper, how to write a bibliography and do research in math or computer science. There is a track in entrepreneurship where our students will be coached by the two incubators of emlyon and École Centrale to start a business from the idea all the way up to the business plan and the search for financing and business angels. And in the third track, data scientists, they will work in partnership with the company to work in a full-scale data science project along a full year. Okay, and how does that work? For each track, it's the same architecture. In the spring term of year three, you work 2 days a week at school for the company or for the research lab or for your company. In the summer term, you work full time in the company or in the research lab or for your own company. And back at school in the fall term of year four, back to 2 days a week on your project. Okay. All right. So let me give you a few words about how to apply to our program. The most important thing is good math records. Okay, we can negotiate on other skills, but not on math. Okay, that's the most important. The application process is fully online for the program. You go to the web page of the program and you see apply. You click on it and you will be asked to upload your transcripts, a cover letter and your CV, but a transcript. That's the transcript of your high school grades, which we will review. And based on reviewing your high school grades, we will decide whether or not you can continue the process. And if you can, you will be invited to have online tests. Okay, so for 2 to 3 hours on your computer, you will have to solve some questions. You will have a cognitive test, some written and video questions in English about your motivations to join the program, and a math test, okay, which is the most important. The math test is challenging. It's only 30 minutes, a half hour, and you have 45 questions. So it's not possible to answer 45 questions in a half hour. Impossible. Even I could not. um, but so it means that you get to choose, and you have to decide for each new questions. You can solve it or pass it, and go to the next and continue to the next one. Okay, so if you are not 100% sure to solve the problem, you should go to the next, and you will have enough questions around the 45 taken at random to cover the full high school math program. Okay. So it's better not to answer and skip to the next question than answering something wrong, which will give you negative grades. Okay. And at the end of these online tests, we have a second review panel, and based on this review, you will be invited or not to a video interview of 25 minutes with Zied and I. Okay, and in this video interview, we will talk with you to get to know each other and see if you are fit for the program, and also answer some of your questions if you have any. And we'll also ask you a few more math questions. Okay. Right. We are basically done with the presentations. I'm just going to show you a few fun facts about the program. First, it's a very international program. Okay, there is less than a third of the students which are French, which are from France. 2/3 are from abroad. Okay, we have so from all over the place. We have lots of Asian students, but not only from China. We have Indian students, students from Russia, from Kazakhstan, from other Far Asian countries. We have lots of Europeans outside France, and people from North and South America. Okay. And we are very proud of this. We have a parity between male and female students. So we have 50% of guys and 50% of women. Okay. Which we try to which we try to keep for the next promotions. Okay. Um, and finally, I'm showing you a few pictures of the actual first year students, which are on top to the left. That's on Central's campus. So Central's campus is in Lyon, but on the countryside part, on the close, very close suburb of Lyon, but in a green environment. In the lower corner, you have the same promotions, but inside our EM Lyon campus, downtown Lyon. And you see to the right some of the fun thing we did. So we had a river ride on the Saône River with the first year students. And bottom right, we invited the sponsor of the first promotion, which is ENGIE, a major energy company. And the lady to the right is the head of the innovation and incubation of ENGIE. Okay, and she sponsors our program. All right. Thank you very much for your attention, guys, and we are with you for any of your questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the presentation and for all the really useful information. First of all, I would like to remind you that in the next few days, you will receive an email from us with all the information that you need from Lyon Business School and École Centrale de Lyon. So you will receive the brochure, the contact details. If you have any other questions, you can contact them and ask. And also you will receive the recording of this session. So if you have missed anything, you can rewatch it and take the information that you need. I see some questions in the Q&A box, so we can proceed with the first one. That is, what kind of student profile are you looking for?
We are looking for typically students who are hesitating between undergraduate program in business and in engineering. Okay, so you are a high school student, you love math, you love humanities, you are hesitating to go to economic and business studies because you don't want to give up math, and you don't want to go for pure math because you are still interested in economics, business, society, and humanities. What would you say, Ziad?
Yes, I would just would like to add, and I'll pick it up from there actually. I mean, this is a hybrid program, so we're looking for hybrid profiles. Students who have good proficiency in math. I will emphasize it again. This is non-negotiable, and also, there is also a programming part. So students who can have like a little bit, who don't find programming boring. This is the thing. In terms of competencies, math is important. The program is entirely taught in English, so good English proficiency also is required as well.
I,
Perfect. Thank you.
I see important
Yes.
question down the line, Carolina. It's about if there are preparatory courses available
Yes,
before.
exactly.
Okay, this is an important point. Actually, if you apply to our program and if you are selected, all selected students, since they come from all over the place, from very different countries and very different high schools with non-homogeneous math level, all admitted students into the program will be given summer homework, okay, in math, and also videos to do math in English. So that's in order to level up all the students before a class start. And in the first week of the program, that is the last week of August, I think we start on the 28th of August, we have a week of tutoring sessions in math to put everybody on the same base. Okay. So if you join us, you will be prepared ahead of class start.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. The next question is about the skills. Is there a strong focus on both technical and business skills?
Well, yes. This program is hybrid, and technical skills or engineering skills or AI skills I will just be very more specific. Which encompass things like skills like programming, algorithmic, critical thinking, also problem solving. These are skills, which revolve around programming and computers, let's say basically. Skills in database as well, and also math skills, which are, known to everyone. And on the business side, from from the plan of study, they don't go down the rabbit hole. They don't dive into the very, very, let's say, details of economics, macroeconomy, microeconomy, and this kind of stuff. But they can see these aspects, but not in a deep way. Not in a deep fashion. So in terms of skills, they have to pay attention, and they have to. It's a hectic pace, especially during the first year, and they have to keep themselves abreast of what's going on in class and this kind of stuff. Jean, if you would like to add something.
Following you.
Perfect, thank you. And are group projects and teamwork a big part of the learning experience?
Not during the first years, not during the first year. In the first years, so the fundamentals in math and computer science are so important that there is a lot of individual work, okay? And that has to be done individually. You have to individually get the competencies, otherwise no group work in data science and even in business will be possible. Okay, but after this, and especially in the business, so starting year two, and especially in the business classes, there are lots of projects. Yes, and people learn to how to work in groups, how to dispatch responsibilities, and how to deal with the group work. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that connected to this one is the question about how early in the program do students start working with data?
Um, I think they start working with data, so with data in the coding class. Yet, right?
And more precisely, let's say
Year one.
working on real data sets, let's say starting from semester two in year one. In statistics course, and also in a course which is called Introduction to Data Visualization. We do what we call exploratory data analysis. We start learning how to get a data set, a relevant data set, how to clean it, how to do data wrangling, and how to extract, let's say, first layer insights, from this data set. So
And this class is in the second term of year one,
year
so
one, yes,
in the
first
spring term. Okay, and then after that, slowly you are slowly introduced to dealing with data in year one, and in year two you work full scale with data. So from the machine learning class where you have real data from Kaggle or from companies, all the way up to the big data class where you learn how to deal with massive data sets. Okay.
So I think that this could also answer to the coding question, how much coding is involved in the early stages of the program.
a lot, starting from day one. Starting from day one. Actually, this is the job description. Data scientist, someone who uses computer to create problems. So they start. The thing is, we talked about the skills required to join this program, the entry requirement, let's say. Programming is not one of them because we have an international program since they come from diverse backgrounds, various backgrounds, and not necessarily all of them have done programming before. So we start from the scratch. We assume they don't have any prior knowledge, and we start from scratch. And we have a continuous assessment strategy. We have assignments, weekly assignments, homeworks, and in-class projects, and it's not like just one exam that evaluates so students will have to work in a consistent way throughout the year.
Perfect, thank you. And does Emlyon Business School offer also PhD in data science?
Yes, but that's not the topic of today's discussion.
Exactly, yes. And we have a specific question on a specific situation, but I think it could be interesting to be read out loud. Is I intend to study in the health sector, that is medicine and surgery. What will be your advice in me taking this course as well? Because I really want to extend my knowledge on business so I'll be able to present myself to the business world.
Well, so it's a very large topic, and in this topic, there are there is room for data and AI engineers and data scientists, certainly. So it depends what you want to do. Um, Certainly, if you follow a program like ours, you would need afterwards a specialization master, a master to specialize in those fields, which we do not teach. We don't teach any biology, any medicines, and but we teach techniques which can be used in these fields.
Thank you. And are students supported in launching their own tech or data-driven startups?
Very good question. Very good question. So Ziad and I mentioned it there in the specialization tracks in year 3 and 4. Students will work during 1 year on a project, and one of the specialization track is called entrepreneurship. And in this track, the two incubators from emlyon and École Centrale, so our set of faculties and coaches and business angels and professionals, will help our students to start and launch and develop their businesses. From, as I said, from the very beginning, trying to find an idea all the way up to the legal aspects of the company, the business plan, the financial projections, and the search for fundings and business angels and the like. So the entrepreneurship program is an in-depth program in entrepreneurship, and we are very proud of what is going to of the projects which are coming out of this because our students have both business and technical skills, usually come out with very good ideas, and that will lead to promising businesses.
Thank you. And how international is the student cohort in the Bachelor in Data Science?
So I said a few words about this. We have around a third of French students, two-thirds of international students. And among the international students, we have students from Europe, outside of France, from Asia. Asia, I mean from Cambodia all the way up to Russia, if we count Russia in Asia, Chinese, Indians, and so on and so
Africa,
forth. And we've
Africa,
got
and from Africa as well. Yeah.
yeah, we've got people from lots of students from Africa and students from North and South America, from all over the world. We don't have Australians, but that's the only continent not represented yet into the program.
Great, thank you. We had another question here that is, what kind of companies or industries hire graduates from this bachelor?
Okay. So this bachelor has not yet graduated a full promotion because it's too new. It's been on for 3 years. Okay. So we cannot give you statistics. Okay. Now, what we can tell you, and as Zied mentioned in his presentation, we build this program in partnership with companies, with international companies, following their needs. Okay. And we have a panel of company experts which follow the content of the program, the evolution of the program, so that it fits the needs of their markets. Okay. And also, we do regular LinkedIn studies, look at job posts, analyze what are the needs of companies to adapt our contents. And we are very confident that our graduates will find good jobs in international companies. Okay.
Okay, just one point to add to that. I mean, last April we hosted the second edition of a 2 days career workshop in which we invite business stakeholders. I mean, we invited, I mean, Air France, for example, Carrefour, Ubisoft, Accor, Michelin. I mean, almost 14 companies. We invited them, data science departments from these companies, and they came to
Gemini,
present. Capgemini, yeah. Just sorry for those I forgot to mention them. Anyways, so these are just examples of companies we invited this year, and we invited particularly professionals from the data science departments, and they all came to present to the students the challenge they have in their departments, the real life examples of projects that they have been working on, and also all of them they ended with presentation of the opportunities of joining these companies, and they said always this profile of students graduates is highly welcomed in these companies. So I mean this is about the industries or companies hiring them. I mean so we didn't invite companies from banking or insurance this year, but I mean also this is also one of the opportunities also students could have, the graduates also, sorry, could have after graduating from this program.
Thank you so much. And another question that we have here is about ethical. So, is there a focus on ethical data use or AI responsibility?
Yes, sure. I mean, and this is embedded in the syllabi of the courses. I mean, the courses that were and related to this. I mean, and also we cannot do another. And I mean, we cannot do it. We cannot work around this. I mean, we have tight regulations in place. I mean, this is something we cannot escape. I mean, we have to follow the ethical use of data and their responsibility. And also, this is taught, I mean, in two courses at least in this program as full-fledged three courses, full-fledged courses dedicated to this, and also in other courses when we use, I mean, even in programming courses. Or when we retrieve data, I mean, a responsible way of retrieving data, a responsible way of how to perceive this data and to be careful when using it, and so on and so forth. I mean, yes, so actually the answer is yes, 100%.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, I think that we have answered all the questions that we had in the chat. Again, feel free to write the email you will see in the email you will receive in the next few days. If you have any other questions that maybe pop up in your mind later, no problem. The panelists are always very kind and available to answer to your questions. And for those of you interested, yeah,
I can
sorry.
just add that if you have any questions, we are just an email away. And if you check our website, you will see also that you can interact with students, ambassador students who are enrolled in year 1, year 2, year 3 of the programs to have also student feedbacks from how it's happening from the inside. Okay.
Perfect. This is very useful and interesting. I think also good to know since the practical testimonials are always interesting. I can copy and paste the link of the website here so that if you want, you can click and go to take a look. Also, of course, if you want to receive the certificate of attendance, you can click on the link that I'm sending in the chat right now and request it. So first of all, I would like to thank our panelists for being here with us today. Thank you for your availability and for all the information that you gave to our students today. And I hope to see some students that will join us. And of course, I would like to thank our attendees connected with us today for your attention and for your curiosity. And I hope to see you again in the next webinar organized by WeUni, of course. So thank you so much
Right.
and have a
Thank you.
nice rest of the day.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.